We have with us Owais Tauheed from Washington, D.C., who's a senior journalist and analyst. Thank you so much for joining us on World DNA.
Me and your show.
So, of course, now to begin with, ahead of the polls, the United States said that it's closely monitoring the electoral process in Pakistan. Talk to us about the growing international concerns regarding free and fair elections in the country. This, of course, as the United Nations Human Rights Office also voiced its concerns. What's your take on this?
There are major concerns regarding the elections, which are soon going to be held, and people in millions will come out and cast the vote. But there are already question marks on the fairness of the elections, and at the same time, there are major concerns expressed by the UN Human Rights Commissioner, Amnesty International, Pakistan Human Rights Commission, and other international rights groups about the increase in violent attacks against the candidates, and that is actually going to create a hurdle in creating a conducive environment to hold polls in a country which is facing a fragile security, especially in the southwestern Balochistan province and in the northwestern Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Both the borders, both the provinces border with Afghanistan, where Taliban rule.
Right, Mr. Tauheed, you speak of how there are major challenges in Pakistan ahead of the elections, and the road to elections, that has not been easy to say the least. The PTI has been in disarray. There's economic and political instability in the country. What do you reckon are the top concerns of the voters?
The country has been facing political instability since the ouster of former Prime Minister Imran Khan, who is in a jail cell, barred from participating in the elections. His party is facing the crackdown by the regime and by the powerful quarters, which means that the military establishment. And that was the accusation, and that has been the accusation of Imran Khan's party activists and party leaders, who are either underground or they are actually waging an unconventional means of participating in the elections through social media campaigns and covert canvassing. So it is going to be a major challenge for Mr. Khan to begin with, and it seems that they are not having a level playing field in Pakistani elections. He is considered to be the most popular politician in the country. He has had falling out with the military generals in 2022, and just before the ouster through a parliamentary vote. So I believe that is the major concern, that his voters the voters of Imran Khan have a fair chance to cast the vote, because it has been stripped off or deprived of the famous election symbol bat. So they are contesting as independent candidates. So to begin with, they are actually participating in the elections with a handicap. Be that the country is facing massive economic crisis, and it's burdened with IMF loans, it's burdened with foreign loans, and at the same time, it is facing fragile security as well. So there are major concerns, and at the same time, a big number of voters are the young voters. So can you believe that in half of the electoral votes, for example, 57 million voters are between the age group of 18 to 35, and there are new voters, 23 million new voters, and they are going to be the play a game changer. You know, if they come out, and if they come out in a large number, so Mr. Khan might have a better chance in today's election.
Now, in fact, sir, I was just going to come to this, as you mentioned as well. The opposition, it's essentially been wiped out. What are the voters really in for? Do you reckon that the election results are a foregone conclusion here?
It's interesting, sort of you rightly mentioned, and probably you must have read the editorial and op-ed pieces, especially in the English press of Pakistan, that is it election or selection? So there are perceptions in political circles and public sphere that Sharifs-led Pakistan Muslim League known is going to be emerge as a major political party in today's polls, and Sharifs are now believed to have backing of the Pakistan's powerful military establishment. Nawaz Sharif, who has remained Prime Minister for 3 times. He has just returned from his self-imposed exile from London. His sentence or his conviction has been overturned by the court. He is free to participate in the elections, and his party leaders are saying that he is probably going to be the Prime Minister for the first time. But his brother, Shehbaz Sharif, who was the Prime Minister after the ouster of Imran Khan, he is also in the run. So, but obviously there are question marks on the fairness on the election, whether they are going to be held freely or impartially.
Right, Mr. Tawhid, thank you so much for taking our time and joining us here on WION.